Called to order at 6 o'clock. All rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Clerk Wright, would you please call the roll?
Trustee White. Present. Trustee Miller.
Here.
Trustee Martin. Here. Trustee Frazier.
Here.
Treasurer Bud.
Here.
Clerk is present. Supervisor McNair.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you very much. Today's board meeting is, by the way, today's board meeting is being streamed live over YouTube, and later on it will be broadcast on our cable channel 12. At today's board meeting, we have on the consent agenda includes approval of amending the 2019 budget to account for a recreation feasibility study, approval of changing the elected officials manual to reflect the retiree benefits change to healthcare savings account. And in new business, we have a new employee starting up, Dan Powers. He'll be our new planning director. We have his personal service agreement, should the board approve it. And we have selection of Fishbeck for the Old Michigan Avenue, Denton Road Water and Sewer Project.
Supervisor,
Yes, sir.
I'd like to adopt the agenda with the exception to pull under the consent agenda item number 4, the voucher list of December 17, 2019, and to approve public hearing, correspondence, public comment, unfinished business, new business, reports, public comment, board comment, and adjournment.
Hold on, stop. Which line item are you looking to move out?
The consent agenda item number 4, the voucher list of December 17.
Okay, that's it, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna make that a new business item number 3. Mind me when we get there. Okay. So we're gonna start off with adoption of the agenda. Can I get a motion? We have a motion now by Trustee White. Can I get support?
Support.
I heard 2. Who?
Tandem.
Okay, Trustee Miller. All right, hearing no discussion, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Next item is adoption of the consent agenda. I believe we're over. Okay, make the motion and read it.
Make a motion to adopt the consent agenda consisting of board minutes, meetings of December 30, 2018, prepaid list December 5th, 2018, prepaid list of December 12th, 2018, removal of the voucher list of December 17th, 2018, be placed on a new item, new business number 3. To include approval of amending the 2018 amended budget transfer of $52,000 from the general fund balance 101-000-390-000 to Township Board other 101-101-965-000. The total amount of $102,000 to the account the Recreation Center feasibility study. Number 6, approval of change in the language of elected official manual to reflect the retiree benefits change effective September 1st, 2018, to receive in the healthcare savings account.
Support.
Treasurer Bud. Okay, it's a consent agenda, so hearing no further comment, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Next item, public hearing, we have none. Correspondence, announcements, and presentations. I'm going to start over on your side.
Okay. On Thursday, January 30th, from noon to 3:30, there will be free admission and transportation to the Detroit Institute of Arts via the Come Wander Around program. Enjoy a guided tour with refreshments, limited seating. Sign up at the Senior Center or call 699-8918. So make sure, residents, that you go to the Detroit Institute of Arts. It's free, you get transportation down there, no parking worries, and you'll enjoy yourselves.
Parks and Recreation is hosting a Kids Crafty Saturday on January 11th from 10 a.m. to 11. Children's grades K through 5 will have the opportunity to make a Harry Potter themed craft. $5 per child per craft.
You'll need that. Yeah, the
Oh, I'm sorry.
microphone. They got me
Take it away,
attached
Sherry.
to this.
As you know, the township will be closed between Christmas and New Year's. If you want to pay your taxes, you can either drop it off in the drop box in the front, because they will be picked up and they will all be recorded by the end of the year. Or you can take it to the police lobby. They have a drop mailbox there they can put there. You can also mail them in, and also be aware that the treasurer's office will be open on December the 27th, that's Friday, from 9 to 5 p.m. for anybody who would like to come in and deposit them at my office. Thank you.
Clerk Wright.
As the treasurer said, the township administrative offices will be closed December 24th, 2018 through January the 1st, 2020. The work study session scheduled for January 6th, 2020, and the board meeting scheduled for January 7th, 2020 has also been canceled. I'd also like to encourage all voters that have received the application requesting to be put on the permanent absentee list. If you want to do that, please return. As of today, we've received approximately 1,170 applications back to be put on the absentee permanent list.
Okay.
I don't think that mic's working.
It's not?
I don't know. It's for the From now until December 20th, the Belleville Area Museum will be hosting their Belle of the Ball Tree Contest. This fundraiser showcases beautifully decorated trees from several tri-community businesses and organizations. The winner will receive a special award. Cast your vote for only $1. I don't know who, if you haven't been there to see the Christmas trees, I think that you might want to take a visit. It's something to see. The trees are decorated beautifully. And also there will be free pictures with Santa at the BAM on December 21st from noon to 4 p.m. And lastly, the Belleville Area Museum's Children's Ornament Workshop will be held on December 21st with time slots available for noon, 1:30 p.m., and 2:30 p.m. For just $2, each child will make up to 5 handmade ornaments. Reservations are strongly recommended as they often sell out. The BAM is located at 405 Main Street in downtown Belleville.
Van Buren Township has closed on the property of the Ford property across the road located on Tyler Road, between Belleville and Beck Roads. That's the property directly north of Van Buren Township Hall on the other side of the road there. So now we can go forward with decisions on how we're going to make it. And our next meeting will be in 2020. And I can remember as a young kid thinking Star Wars 2020, you know, and it was just something to think about at that time. It's how far that was in the future. But it's here upon us now, and we all need to enjoy it. And also, before we start the meeting, I'd like to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas from the entire board.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. We move now down to public comment. Public comment. Now, do you have something you want to comment on one particular item?
Yeah.
Just one item. Is it the new item that just got created, number 3?
On the newsletter?
Do you want to hold off and then we can call you up right before that, so that way it sounds more like it's
That's fine.
okay? Since that's all that's all you're commenting on, though, right? Okay, got it. Okay, all right. So moving on then, no public comment. New businesses. Consider approval of Dan Powers' personal service agreement to fill the planning director position. Can I get a motion for approval?
I make a motion to approve
Trustee Miller,
Daniel Powers' personal service agreement to fill the planning director position.
Trustee Frazier. Okay, Mr. Best.
Thank you. Today I bring to you the personal service agreement for the position of Director of Building Planning at Van Buren Township, and our candidate that has been selected is Daniel Power. Daniel Power has a Bachelor's of Science from Central Michigan University, go Chips, majoring in environmental studies and land use, so he spent a lot of time in Brooks Hall just like me, and a Master's in landscape architecture from the University of Michigan. From that time, he was a member of AmeriCorps' community forestry program and also the Greening of Detroit. These experiences taught him how to be a good communicator and educator. He then worked with Spicer Group out of Saginaw, where he worked with grant writing and the design of grant-funded recreation projects. He also employed master plan and recreation plan services, zoning ordinances, and site plan review processes. Since leaving Spicer Group, he has been with the city of Walker, where he has been the director of planning. He has led 98 planning commission meetings, 61 meetings of the ZBA, has shepherded 160 unique developments. He has worked on a master plan, zoning ordinance amendments, and has also received the coveted AICP certification. Dan is here today to answer any questions, and so am I. So I present to you for your consideration the personal service agreement for Daniel Power.
Dan, do you have anything you want to say before I ask the board?
I'm thrilled to be here.
Okay.
I've been very fortunate to work with the city of Walker for the last 4.5 years, and it's a great community to work for. But the fact is that my wife and I are from this area. Van Buren Township is a place with a lot of history and a lot of interesting growth potential and growth management potential. It's just a very unique place with a lot of history that I remember being in Belleville and Van Buren Township growing up, and I really appreciate the opportunity to kind of come back home where I'm from, and at least the region I'm from, and to work for you all and grow together. So I appreciate the opportunity.
Okay. We'll start over here. Trustee Frazier, I think you had something.
Well,
Miller?
I'd just like to say I'm very impressed, Dan, with your credentials, but also that you have the technology skills like the GIS, the CAD, and the sketching program. And also that Walker was they had about 25,000 people, didn't they? So it's a similar situation to what we have. So I appreciate your experience in that. And it's always good to go home. You're making the right choice. So looking forward to you developing our properties and bringing in more businesses for the township.
Thank you very much.
Trustee Miller, I should have called you first.
That's fine.
As the maker of the motion. Okay.
Trustee Frazier said, welcome to our wonderful township. We hope that you find it to be a great experience. This is an awesome board to work with, and I hope that you get to know each and every one of us on an individual basis. And when do you move back home?
Well, sort of bits and pieces every time I drive this way. So over the last month, I've made some trips, and officially I start on January 2nd. We'll be living here right away.
Okay.
Great, welcome.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Trustee White?
Director Powers, thank you very much for applying for this job. We appreciate it and welcome your expertise and experience. And we know that you would do a great job for Van Buren Township. I understand you graduated from Central Michigan University.
That's right.
My wife and I put 4 through Central Michigan University a few years ago, so we're pleased to hear that. So thank you very much. Enjoy the opportunity, and we look forward for a very, very good relationship with you.
Thank you very much.
The important part, Paul, is that he went to U of M.
That's right.
Well,
I have my heart in 2 places. So
Okay.
At least they don't fight too often. Yeah.
Well, all right, so we're, all right, so we have a motion of, 1 second, hold on,
Well, let's
let's
see if
take
you
the
get
vote, and then we'll
approved.
do this. Just make sure, okay? I have a motion by trustee Miller for approval and seconded by trustee Frazier. Hearing no further discussion. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Welcome to the.
Thank you,
welcome to the
board.
Family.
Go
Come
ahead.
on by, one at a time, we'd like to say welcome and thank you. Thank you very very much. Thank you. Look forward to working with you.
There's a lot of this stuff going on.
2 minutes? Okay. All right, moving on to the next item is to consider approval of the selection of Fishbeck to provide engineering services in the design and planning phase of the proposed Old Michigan Avenue Denton Road Water Main Rehabilitation Project. Can I get a motion? Trustee Martin.
I move we approve the selection of Fishbeck Incorporated to provide engineering services in the design and planning phase of the proposed Old Michigan Avenue Denton Road Water Main Rehabilitation Project, not to exceed the amount of $213,000.
Support.
Trustee White. Okay, Director Taylor.
Yeah, as we've discussed this project before, this is the second and third phase of a three-phase project. The board had approved last month for the bypass valve and the upgrade of the VB06 Rawsonville meter pit. This project we will be replacing an 8-inch cast iron main, which is approximately 50 years old, along Old Michigan Avenue. That'll be providing increased flows and pressures from VB06 through a newly installed bypass at Ecorse and Beck Roads to the water tower. We're going to replace a seriously deteriorated road, which is Old Michigan Avenue, in coordination with water main replacement, minimizing the disruption of the area by doing this in one solid project. And finally, we want to replace an out-of-service section of water main at Michigan and Denton to ensure the positive flows for the entire northwestern section, and presently, which is under consideration for development by, we know some onlookers are looking at developing in that area, and we want to make sure that we are going to be able to provide quality in terms of our water supply as well as the pressures needed for those businesses to operate. The estimated cost, as I've mentioned before, for the total project will range between $1.85 to $2.4 million, but we're just requesting tonight approval for the planning and design phase, which is not to exceed $213,000, and Fishbeck will be the engineering firm of choice for this project.
Excellent. Okay. Yes, Trustee Martin, and then
Once again, we are being proactive in our maintenance of our water main programs. As you know, a strong infrastructure is the backbone of our community. And by replacing these old pipes, we are continuing to provide the quality services that our residents have come to expect. So I just think it's a good project. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
thank you. Trustee White.
Okay. I would like to thank you for making sure that our residents have safe drinking water. As I've stated many times, my wife and I have traveled across the United States and most of the areas in Canada to Alaska, and the best drinking water we have found anywhere is in Van Buren Township. And we certainly appreciate that. We certainly appreciate the fact that every time we turn on the spigot, we get water. We appreciate the fact that when I pay my bill, I know that I'll have water for the next 3 months. And I just want to comment, you and your entire department, on their hard work. And I can tell you, I don't think it's fun out there now trying to dig up a water main in this cold weather. And residents certainly appreciate how you run the water department and how we always have water. Thank you very much, Director Taylor.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Anybody else? Trustee Frazier?
I'd just like to remind our residents that because we have a proactive director, we have kept our water bills in check. I mean, we have to have slight increases, but not for our services. Those charges are from Great Lakes Water, and we can't do anything about what they're charging us. But also, that we have applied for a $375,000 grant from Wayne County. Is that correct?
That money, I understand, has already been received by the supervisor's office.
We already have it. We have a $375,000 grant. We have $250,000. I believe there's another $375 that we can get. If not, I believe once they drive down Old Michigan Avenue, we're going to be able to convince them that the $375,000 grant that we think we should be getting, in addition to all these, they'll get. I'm sure of it.
As they bounce down the road, maybe the money will fall out of their pockets. I don't know.
Yeah, put it this way, we're going to be ripping that road out. We're gonna be replacing the entire substructure. We're gonna be doing all this for the water main anyway. All they do is pretty much have to come along and cap it, and that's the deal of the century for them.
And I think it's really important
I
to
got you.
stress to our residents that our directors are, and the supervisor has been very proactive on securing grants for our township. And that helps us greatly on providing these amenities and keeping our water bills low and other things for the community. And I'd just like to say, I really appreciate the fact that you gave us visual pictures of the conditions on the road. And this photo log program is very helpful in demonstrating what is needed. So I appreciate that too.
Thank you. Trustee Miller.
Director, it says here under the statement of understanding, the existing 12-inch main was damaged by traffic signal drilling operations causing the water main to break. Is there any way to go back and figure out who did that damage and look for
We've explored,
ways to
we have
break that?
explored that. We have explored that option, and it's still unresolved at this point, so.
All right. Well, still meaning it's, okay.
Among other things, you get into a big argument over whose easement really is it. Is it your easement because of the sewer, or is it their easement because of the county? DTE's easement because they're got more lawyers than both of them. Anybody else? Hearing none, it's an excellent project. We have a motion by Trustee Martin, supported by Trustee White. Hearing no further discussion, all in favor? Aye. Oppose? Motion passes.
Thank you, Board.
Thank you very much. So this is line item number 3, which is going to be approval of the voucher list of December 17th, 2019. Can I get a motion before I,
Through the chair,
okay, Treasurer Bud?
I make a motion to approve the voucher list of December 17th as presented.
Then Clerk Wright? Okay, Reggie, would you like to speak on this?
Yeah, in regards to that magazine, I understand it's $42,000.
No, it's not. It's 28.
28.
It's 28 if it was it was $20,713 this year for 3 issues
Okay.
of general fund money. There was another 4,000 or so in DDA, and there was about 1,700 in water and sewer.
So it brings the total cost to,
It's 26,000 call
For how long?
for three issues.
for 3 issues. I'm talking yearly.
Yearly, it's supposed to be 28,000 in general fund, which it was dead on, that number.
Total. Stop the dance. Just, what's the total
Okay,
cost?
Okay, I don't know what water and sewer is going to do, but they're gonna utilize it. So if they have usually between $1,700 and $3,500 in stuff that they could run through that magazine. Whatever they wanna run, they can, okay? But they're gonna have to either do that or they're gonna have to mail it on their own. And then the DDA, I don't control the Downtown Development Authority. They do a lot of advertising, and they like it, so
Well,
they.
it's a prime example. I always vote no on stuff. I don't like the way you spend the money. That's a lot of money for that magazine.
Okay.
And half of them are getting thrown. Why is Sumter and Belleville getting them mailed to them?
Actually, because the people that actually pay for it are the people that are taking out ads.
Okay,
And they want it extended down in there.
Who mails it? Who pays for that?
We don't pay for it, it's just, the advertisers pay for it.
Yeah, well, there's still a lot of tax dollars involved in it. You know, you can say they come from here, they come from there. And And maybe this is another prime example why there is no money for the roads, because you got all these grants and all this money goes to grants and there's no money for the roads. And you can say, well, the roads aren't ours, they belong to Wayne County. But we make an awful lot of money off the roads with our impeding traffic and double parking tickets. So why can't we fix our roads? We're making the money off the roads. But the bottom line is, it's too much money for this magazine. It's insane. It's crazy. That's why I vote no.
Okay,
So if
thank
you
you.
vote for it, I'm voting against you.
Okay. All right, Trustee White, did you?
Yes, I pulled this, and I pulled it for a specific reason.
Okay.
Because I was called and asked what was going on. And I looked at it, and I thought that when we first discussed this, we were told that the cost of this would be around $10,000 or $12,000, maybe $14,000, and I was left with the impression that this would be for a year, because the advertising would pay for everything in the magazine, pay for the cost of it. So I wasn't too concerned about a $12,000 being spent on a magazine of that quality being sent to all of our residents. However, on this voucher list, when I received it and I started going through it, and I can tell you, and I think you know, that I generally go through every single item on the voucher list, and it takes a long time, and I often question a lot of these items. And that voucher list for the fourth quarter,
I can talk to him.
and it states right on there, fourth quarter voucher list, okay, for Van Buren Township today, partly from the police department, from the rec department, from the seniors, from Parks and Rec, and from I forget what the other one is. And it comes to a total of $10,500 for the fourth quarter. Now, if you take $10,500 and multiply that by 5 quarters, and there's no reason why the first, second, and third quarter won't be very similar to this, that comes out to $42,000 a year.
Okay, that's not the way it is, though.
$42,000. Then you know.
You're looking at a one-time charge for $2,800 that was for a recycling insert that could be torn out of the inside of the magazine. We're not doing enough recycling. We're trying to be pro environment, so we thought we'd give it one shot at putting it out.
So that's $2,800, and you're talking about $2,800.
So you're
off
multiplying 2,800 times 4.
Okay,
So you're talking $10,000 you're adding into it.
So it still means it's going to cost us $32,000.
No, it's
Supervisor.
$28,000.
No.
It's
Okay.
That's
So
what you budgeted for next year, and that's what it's going to be.
We budgeted $8,000 for
And last
Van
year
Buren
was
today, next year.
20,700. And I actually have the numbers.
Okay.
20,750.
Is budgeted for next year. What did we
Next
budget
year we budgeted $28,000.
for next year?
Yes.
What about for this year? What was budgeted for it?
Actually, we budgeted more than $28,000 because we're planning on running it concurrently with the ledger, but we ended the ledger. So instead of spending $19,000 and $3,000, which would have been 22, we spent $9,500, and that's it. So that's, oh God, my math. $12,500 minus $20,000. We spent $8,000 this year on this.
Supervisor,
8,000.
you can come up with these figures out of thin air, but
I know, I live with them every
just
day.
a second, sir, please. I'm looking at the voucher list for December 17th of 2019, and it's showing $10,500 for the fourth quarter. Now, how am I not to believe that same cost will not go into the first, second, and third quarter of next year?
Because
and we're looking at,
you didn't budget us to do that.
okay, but these are fourth quarter costs, and you're saying that the first, second, third quarter are not going to be as much as the fourth quarter. And that's hard to believe, because in the newspaper business, it costs as much to put out a paper on Friday as it does on Monday most of the time, depending
The
on
board
the
has told me how
ads.
much money I can spend, and I can't spend more than that.
Well,
And that's
did-
$28,000.
Did the board approve
Okay.
this expenditure here?
I think
And if you take this and multiply it by 4, and that's the only logical way to do it. I made straight A's in math, and that comes out to $42,000 a year.
It's Trustee Frazier's turn, and you should think about what your ask is, because I really don't know where you're going with this.
I really think that what we're getting confused on here, Trustee White, today. So they are not paying what they normally pay to send out their publications. They're paying it so that we can all be together as the township information piece, and it's VBT today. And the comments that I've received from the community have been positive. The comments from the realtor boards have been positive. The comments from service groups in the community have been positive. I think it's a great.
And I understand all of that. It is a good magazine, and I certainly appreciate that.
It's a great communication
Okay.
tool that gives us, some people don't like social media. They would rather have a magazine in their hand, and that's what we're providing for them. The information all gathered together on the township in one place.
Well,
I
Sherry,
think it's an
I
excellent.
appreciate your comments, but I beg
I
to
think
I beg
it's
to differ with you because.
a great investment.
Okay, $42,000 of our taxpayers' money, and I don't care if it comes from Washington or Lansing or Wayne County, it still belongs to our residents. And $42,000 $42,000 is quite a bit of money, and I've heard from several residents on this, and generally speaking, you won't hear from many residents, and when you hear from 4 or 5 residents, you don't understand when something. But I did put it out there, and $42,000. You can't say this is a one-time cost because we'll have to wait and see what it costs us to put it out in the first quarter and the second quarter. He says we have
didn't budget
I'm sorry, no,
42,000.
pardon me.
You keep
We
saying
are-
that figure, it's
That's
That's
Okay,
what
hold-
it cost. That's
Okay,
what it
stop.
cost.
Okay,
No.
okay, you're going in circles now.
I'm not going in
Okay.
circles. I'm telling you.
You're-
How much does this
trustee-
cost? $42,000.
It
No.
does not
No,
cost
it didn't.
$42,000.
You keep on saying that.
We're paying $10,005 for the fourth quarter. Correct.
Yes.
Okay, for the fourth quarter.
Right.
And you're saying we're not going to pay for something like similar to that in 1, 2, and 3.
Correct.
I don't buy that.
That's
I do
okay.
not buy that.
So
It
now it's not
goes
your
by
turn
the
anymore.
quarter.
It's Trustee Miller's turn, I believe. Trustee Miller?
Looking ahead at this, if you have different groups that participate, it's included in the 42, is it not?
Yeah.
Yes.
What, there's no 42.
There's no
22, 30, 40, whatever you want to call it.
28,000.
Okay, 28,000.
28,000 is
Okay.
general fund money.
Okay, but you have different entities, different departments contributing.
General fund departments
still all
contributing
Let me,
only.
I have the floor, and I get that, but what are we saving on the back end where we're not advertising, where we didn't get the results?
Okay.
Let me give you an example of the results I see. Events
I
that
got the
we have,
notes.
local events that we have are well attended, and when I've asked, why did you come, how did you hear about it? It was the magazine.
Forgot about
So-
that.
And you've seen it too,
Mm-hmm.
the concert series.
Yep.
And I didn't
So,
mention
no,
that
no,
the
no, 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 no,
supervisor
no, it's her
So
turn.
I had-
Paid.
I still have,
Go on.
I still have the floor.
You do.
We
Trustee
need to
Miller.
make sure that
Yeah.
people respect that. So with that being said, when you take down all the expenses that we're not doling out for, and you take into consideration all the different departments that are participating, that's the real cost. But it's about the value. It's not just about the cost per se in terms of dollars. What are we getting back from this? How do we measure the success of this?
Okay, I can tell you that we were spending $22,000 for the same things that we're putting into this paper at $28,000. As we said before, 3 or 6 months ago, this would cost us about $6,000 to produce this, more than our current system, and it is. It's right on budget too.
So, I still have the
Which one?
floor.
Okay, all right.
So,
Then
let
it's
me
right,
ask you
Martin.
this. How are we also doing it with a link? How are you measuring the success of this?
How are we measuring the
Yes.
success of this?
Yes. And do we have electronic
I
link
don't-
that if they don't
no.
wanna read it, you know, the paper copy, they can open it up? I see it floating around, but it sure
We do,
would be nice
there
to
is an
have it on the
electronic,
website.
yeah, there is an electronic, but on the other side of it is, no, we don't have any measure of, on this. All we do know is that people are, showing up at events and saying nice things and telling us they like it. But no, we have no measurement.
So going forward, are we to look at the costs of this for 2020?
Well, you know what, it's not just the cost of this.
and the success of it.
And I
as
should
well.
let Trustee Martin speak, because the schools are involved in this too. In fact, we just called the schools today. The schools, we asked the schools, do you want the cover? Because we don't have a lot going on this time of year. And they were excited about that. They said, yeah, we want the cover. So they're gonna have the cover for this one. And I talked to you guys before I called them yesterday. Trustee Martin.
A lot of times we speak about initiatives and events and stuff in the township and ways to promote our township, and we always say, let's put stuff on the website and social media and things of that nature. As Trustee Frazier said, a lot of people aren't technologically savvy, they're not computer savvy, and they like to see a magazine. This is just another way to promote our township, and the fact that it's going to Sumter and Belleville, that's great, because we claim to be this tri-community, so let's get them involved in it. Let's let them see what's going on in Van Buren Township and bring them here in their dollars, and they spend money in our businesses. These magazines go to the hotels we have in town. Visitors see them. They can see events. They can see things that's going on in our community, and that's how we bring money to our community. That's how we prosper. That's how we thrive.
Clerk Wright?
Well, I think we're forgetting one main thing is that the voucher and the accounts payable is done through the clerk's office, and we have to understand that the DDA, water and sewer, all those are we pay for all of those. There's no separation, so the balance that you see on the voucher list consists of all three. It's not just general fund; it's the total balance of all.
Right.
And like the supervisor said, if we did budget $28,000 to go to cover the magazine, so we don't have a valid complaint until you look at the budget, the actual budget for 2019. If it supersedes $28,000, Trustee White, then you got an argument. But right now, you can't guesstimate what it's going to do for the next quarters. You can't guess that it's going to spend $10,000 for the next 3 quarters because it couldn't. We may do a high input this quarter and a low in the next quarter. As long as it stay within the $28,000, we within budget. So there's no argument until you see the final budget.
It's working.
And that's how, but remember, DDA, water and sewer all goes through accounts payable and shows up on the voucher list the same, out of the same account.
Okay, so Treasurer Bud, you're the only one.
And no, I don't see a problem with it. We haven't overspent what we said we were going to spend, so I don't understand his logic. We know that we budgeted $28,000 for last year. We know this year we didn't go over budget. We didn't spend any more than we said we were going to. I think people have enjoyed looking at it. They like the pictures, and it's something they can keep handy because they know then what the schedules are because they can get a hold of it.
Okay. We've already gone through twice, so the question is called. We have a motion by Treasurer Bud, supported by Clerk White. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Roll call vote, Clerk.
Trustee White?
No.
Trustee Martin?
Yes.
Yes for me. Treasurer Bud?
Yes.
Trustee
Yes.
Miller? Trustee Frazier?
Yes.
Supervisor?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, thank you. Next item is public comment for non-agenda items. Yes, sir. Come on up, Bridget. Mr. Ryan.
Is anybody related to anyone in this magazine company in any way, shape, or form?
In this room?
I don't think so.
No.
Okay, I forgot to ask that question.
Okay.
I asked that about the towing, and somebody lied to me over it, so I take that with a grain of salt. I do have a couple other concerns. I have a concern about the size of the flag at our voting polls. They're just little bitty flag over at Wayne County Community College. I'm tired of it. That's so anti-American. There should be a 3x5 on a pole. I don't know. I guess I got to go check our other voting precincts. I asked Clerk Wright a few years ago when I noticed a dinky little flag that a kid would put on his bicycle for a parade to go down the street. That's a size
those our
flag.
flags?
That's the size
Oh.
flag we had at the community college last time. I have a picture of it. I complained about it. I'm sick of it. The next thing, there won't be a flag. I can see it because now it's this small. It should be this size. That's a 3x5 on a pole.
I
That
just
should be
ordered
a,
some, so I'm wondering if we.
that should be
Did I
in-
miss these two?
there should be a flag in every one of our voting precincts like this here.
Okay,
So you want a flag this size in your vote?
Yes, sir.
that's.
I sure do.
Really
And we got money for all this fancy stuff, backdrop magazines, televisions in the hallway. We ain't got money for proper flags. Shame on you.
We just ordered some, but
Three-
not that many. Okay.
Right. We should have proper flags in our voting precincts.
All right.
Next, there won't be any flags. I see it coming. We're almost there.
That's our only Van Buren flag. We got another one of those coming, so.
There's a banner in the gymnasium here. It is not a flag. It's kind of hung like a flag, but it's not a flag. I'd like to know why the Asian, Korean, or Japanese flag is hanging to the right of it. Please look into it. That's anti-American. It shouldn't be there. There should be no other flag hanging next to the American flag unless it's a state flag or a POW flag. Let's get that fixed. I'm sick of this flag stuff. I'm not going to be nice much longer over it. Our roads, I'm tired of, we've had the same potholes from Burger King to over the bridge for 3-4 years. We make a lot of money off the roads through our police department. Maybe some of that money needs to go back to the roads because we're making thousands, if not millions of dollars off of these roads and traffic fines, and none of it's going to the roads. And you can say the county, why can't the township? We drive around every day. The police drive around, the fire department, the water department, everybody drives around. Why can't they report these road problems to the county? Why do you say to the voters, oh, well, you got to call the county? That's not ours. You brush us off over it. I'm tired of that, too.
That's not the way
No, no.
government's organized.
Well,
No, but actually,
but we
do.
could be
no,
reporting our roads, too.
Hold on, we do.
Well,
We don't do it as much as as we should, but we do. Okay.
we spend, we make a lot of money off the roads,
Yeah.
so if the roads were in better shape, people would drive faster. And then you could hand out more tickets.
We could give more tickets.
We're gonna be known as
I like
Van Buren
that.
Township where people drive slow because everybody gets impeding traffic tickets. So everybody's driving slow. I don't know if they're window shopping or what, but that's fraudulent. That's strong arm robbery. I would like to see the gun range move from over here by the baseball diamond and the school. You know, we got that building over here by the landfill, the clubhouse. Maybe we could move the gun range over there. Just a thought. I mean, I've lived around that range for a long time. It's not something you get used to. I'm used to airplanes. I'm used to trucks. I can't get used to that gunfire. I won't get used to that gunfire. Them poor people that live in Cork Sub, I can't believe they don't complain more about that. Have you ever heard it?
I've heard it.
It sounds like someone's getting raided, like there's a little war over there. And it's always on nice days when people's outside. And, you know, when I worked at North, we used to have to shut the windows because of that. And, how did it wind up by the baseball diamond and by a subdivision? Well, perhaps we could use that dump site over there and move the gun range over there, or buy them a thing at T-Rex or whatever, and so they can go there and shoot. I just can't get used to gunfire, and I don't like it. And I'm sure them people in Cork Sub, they don't like it, but they're not going to come here and complain. They know it falls on deaf ears. I mean, I'm not going to waste my time, but I'll be back on that because that's too much. And $3,000 for Paula Tupman, really? To come here and do a motivational speech? How about hiring people that don't need a Paula Tupman motivational speech? Thank you.
Thanks. All right, thank you.
Supervisor.
Actually, it's not your turn just yet. Is there anybody else from the public that wishes to speak? Okay, board comments. Go ahead.
As most of us know, President Trump is coming to town. He's coming to Kalamazoo and Battle Creek this week. And I can tell you, I'm a very, 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 very proud grandfather. CBS station WWMT Channel 3 in Battle Creek will have a part of a presentation for Trump, and he will be on that station. And after that station finishes his comment and his televising, he has agreed to sit down and do a one-on-one interview with one of the reporters for WWMT Channel 3 CBS in Battle Creek. And I'm very proud to say that my granddaughter, Sarah White, was chosen to videotape that discussion one-on-one between the reporter and President Trump. And
It's cool.
she is somewhat nervous about it, but I told her when she's my age, she'll be very, very proud. It's something she can talk about every year, every birthday of her life, that she got to videotape the President of the United States. And most of us will never have an opportunity to even see him in person, but she gets to videotape him. And our family is extremely proud that she was chosen to do this.
Okay.
That's a great honor.
Yeah.
Congratulations to your
Yeah.
granddaughter.
It's wonderful. All right, is there anybody else who wishes to speak? Second, hearing no abstentions, we're adjourned.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.